So you're looking into purchasing solar and you've heard a lot of disaster stories out there from your friends and family, and you want to make sure you choose the right solar company. Look, it's not all about panels and inverter. If you choose the right company, they're going to offer you the right panels and inverter. And if they're saying a Chinese panel and inverter is their premium offering, you found the wrong company. But here today, we're talking about one of the other methods is online reviews and how you can tell whether online reviews are maybe genuine, or do you just look for the guy that's got the highest online rating. So I've brought Ben in today to help me discuss this topic.
Yeah, thanks, Mark. I think what you touched on there about it's not all panels inverter, that's really important. And why we're discussing reviews today, we're looking at reviews of solar companies. We're going to look at 4 different platforms. We're going to look at Facebook, Google, product review, and solar quotes. And we're going to go into what makes them different, how companies are hiding their dirt or hiding how they want to present themselves, but also how to navigate these review platforms, what's good and what's bad. So I guess let's get into it.
And you're going to rank those best to worst at the end of this,
I think very easily we will do that, yes.
Great, good stuff.
Cool. So the first one is Facebook. I always like to start with Facebook. This is our page up here now, just because it's usually where the solar journey starts. Once you start typing in solar, you'll notice your feed is filled up with all this information. So a few clicks, you're on a Facebook page. Now, this is ours here. I guess the most important takeaway is, although this isn't our website, this is exactly how we want it to look. We can shape it, we can hide certain things we don't want to hide, and that's one way how a company can over-represent themselves or paint themselves in a great light through Facebook. So a really good example.
The question here is, Ben, can we hide reviews?
Now, you can't actually hide certain reviews, but you can hide reviews altogether. A really quick example of that occurring is, you'll notice here we've got a nice little 4.9 out of 5 star here. That's active, so that means we have reviews enabled. Now, looking at a different widely popular solar company in the market.
Popular you say. Okay, fair enough.
Move on.
Move on.
You'll notice their section is non-existent. They don't have reviews available. Now, you can submit a review, but it won't go anywhere. It won't go up for the public to see, so they are hiding what they want you to see, and that's one way you can, I guess, hide the dirt on Facebook, and that's what's occurring here. So back to our page.
I found this really interesting, is that I monitor our page. Me and Elliot, there's a couple of us that work on, putting posts up every now and then. We're not hugely active on it. But for over maybe nearly 10 years, I've had this page, and I never knew I could hide my reviews. I guess I never really wanted to, but you would really have to go in there and actively decide that there's something going wrong, so I'm not going to let the public see my average review on Facebook.
Yeah, exactly right. It is enabled by default, so that's how it comes. If it's not there, then it's an active reduction, or it's an active take out of the review. So that's a really good point. Now, the other reduction that they can do, or the redaction, is not reviews, but comments themselves. So if we scroll down a little bit here, we can see this published article. You make a post on Facebook, it pops up, tells you how many comments there are. Now, apparently there's 46 comments, but if you do a manual count through, only 27 are evident. So we're getting a fair amount of comments that have been deleted. So that's another way. If you don't want a particular sentence or a particular line from a customer shown, it's really easy to just delete that altogether.
Yeah, sure. And I guess that's fair enough if you get trolls on your Facebook feed. I don't think I've ever had that on our Facebook, but if you get trolls on there, jumping on there and saying stupid stuff, you might want to delete that. I guess then again, it's a ratio thing, isn't it? If you're getting, there's always comments deleted and half of them are getting deleted, it's kind of a red flag.
Yeah, exactly. I think, spam, of course, you're entitled to delete your spam and everything, but if it's an ongoing occurrence, and especially in this case, it actually is a broken conversation, they're addressing an angry customer. So we know in this particular case, it's deleted angry comments, but yeah, the ratio, how many is getting deleted, how often it's happening, that's what you need to look out for. So
they've only deleted half of the conversation in this situation.
Yeah, but, they didn't do it properly. It was a bit of a messy deletion. Okay. They didn't do it great. Yeah, whoops. So I guess Facebook's nice to portray your company, but to judge it, to use it as a review platform, I think you need to really be careful. It can be hidden, so look out for that review platform or the review section gone altogether as just a warning sign.
Yeah, a massive red flag, I would have thought. Yeah. Okay.
So moving on, if we want to improve from Facebook or we want to go a little bit better, we look towards Google. Now, Google's, of course, really widely known. It's not really belonging to you, this page, this snippet view. It is live out there. You can't delete comments. It's whatever's up there, it's up there. So by default, it's a lot better. The problem, however, is the snippet that Google gives you isn't really telling the whole story. Let's use us, for example.
You mean by that the 4.9 stars?
It means nothing, Mike. It looks nice for us. 4.9.
That's what you mean by the snippet. Yeah, okay. It does. Anyway, go on.
They're always going to look good, but I don't think, if you start trying to judge a company based on this view here, based on this 4.9 and this most relevant star rating, I think you're going to have a bad time. It always does look good, and average star ratings have a really good chance of not being accurate. So what I like to do and what we recommend is to just go straight to the point. Look at the lowest rating.
Hang on a minute. We didn't discuss this. You're not going to...
So, Mark, I'm going to do that right
bring up my dirt.
This is the worst comments we've received, and I'd like you to, answer for yourself. What do you have to say?
Yeah. So how many have we got there? It's 3, or is there some below?
No, just 3.
Yeah, it's three 1-star reviews. Okay, one of those customers, I won't pick them out. That was absolutely my fault. We had a really difficult situation. We tried our best to resolve it. And then he got me on a Friday afternoon, and I was a little bit stroppy, and I probably copped what I deserved there. There's other ones there, and I know the story behind every one, because it kind of hurt. And sometimes our staff dropped the ball or whatever it was. And things happen sometimes, and you get 1-star reviews. We've got 3 out of 149, which is not too bad.
Pretty good,
I would have rather all 5 stars.
Yeah, no, but I'd say that's all right. I think that what you touched on there, they hurt, or you knew each one individually. But I think that's what reviews are there for. Luckily, these are all pretty old, 2 years ago. Each one we actioned on, and that's what it's meant to be. 3 out of 149, not bad, but, it can happen. Now, why I've done this is if we look at the same company on their Google platform, we can take it the same snippet, maybe, not quite a 4.9, but you wouldn't think bad of a 4.2 star rating, as well as just the most relevant comments. Not bad, right?
They're not quite MC Electrical, but that's not bad.
That's what you would think, right? So let's do the same experiment, if you will, and sort them by the lowest rating. Now, we don't have 3 here. I could scroll down for a long, long time. I've done this manually, so I won't bore you with it, but we're just getting a massive influx of not just bad experiences, just abysmal 1-star experiences, just ongoing. This means, I think I've tallied them up to 108 out of 700, so we're looking at roughly a 1 in 7 chance of an abysmal 1-star experience with this company.
Right.
Which you couldn't have you wouldn't be able to tell that from a 4.2 average rating. So that's why I can't stress enough. You need to just go straight to the lowest rating, have a look at the dates, have a look how many you are, and see the ratio that's occurring and what's happening in reality.
Sure. And I guess if we go back to the other end of the scale, I'll tell a little story about what happened probably just a bit over 5 years ago with us, and we were just starting to get a few more reviews on our site. And I think it was a competitor, I wasn't exactly sure, competitor salesperson that jumped on our site and gave us 3 absolutely terrible reviews. They were quite hilarious the way he worded it. Obviously, he knew the industry. It brought our average down to 3.5 or something like that. And really stressed me out, because that kind of thing could crush our reputation online. So this might sound dodgy, but I called up I got onto my staff and my family and friends, and I said, can you guys just jump on there and back me up? And I told them not to lie as if they were a customer, but just to say, no, that these are fake reviews that are up there. And at the same time, I went onto Google and I asked Google to remove those reviews. And there's ways that they can tell that they're fake reviews. They did that. It took them about 3 months, but they finally took down those bad reviews. And then I got onto my friends and family that had backed me up, and I asked them to delete their reviews. Funnily enough, I tried to delete my own review that I put on myself, but I couldn't. So it's actually up there somewhere still. So we've only got 148 legitimate reviews. But all this is to say is that all this is to say that it is quite possible it's obviously very possible to get fake reviews on Google. And there's even, you were telling me about a service that you saw about a text message going around, Ben?
Yeah, I saw a text message going around. It's just a known thing. They say drown out your 1-star reviews with a service for offering 5-star. Not saying that's what's occurring here, but the service does potentially exist. A lot of freelancers do it. So in reality, those ratios could look a lot worse if there's any clause or if there's any potential of fake reviews in there. So that 1 in 7 is a best case scenario. It could be a lot worse than that.
Look, I was helping out a customer that got screwed around this week. They got onto me via Crap Solar, and they went with this company that looked fantastic. They had 50 5-star reviews or something like that. And I looked into it, and they got 50 reviews within the last 4 months. Yeah. So I'm not saying they're cheating, but I'm pretty much saying, they're fake reviews.
It took us a long time to get 50.
Yeah, it took us a long time, yeah.
So all of that's really, you've seen that firsthand happening that way. Ratios are incredibly important. That snippet, in your example, the 3.5, or in this case, the 4.2, isn't overall reflective both ways. You just need to cut to the chase. check out the lowest and check the ratios that are occurring on Google. Good platform, but you just need to know how to navigate it. Our third one now, we're moving on to product review, which until recently I was a bit fooled by. As the name indicates, it's just a review platform for products as well as companies, and it looks really good on the surface. They've got great integration. If you got a few plans here, you can go and have some Facebook integration. You can have live chat boxes. You can really work with product review and make your service link up with them and just really appeal to the customer. So, like I said, I thought this was good until really recently.
You were on the phone to me yesterday, and we were wondering whether we should sign up and pay the subscription fee, because it looked like a good tool, right?
I was excited. I was like, this could be good. Get out there on another platform, but then I had to do my due diligence and really put them under the microscope, which I did. So the problem arises around this payment. So we mentioned the payment for a few services, but it's very clear from other reviews in the industry or people rating product review that this payment does a bit more than that, unfortunately. It really means you have to pay them, else they're not gonna listen or they're not gonna help you out. So what I've done to try and help show that is we're on another review platform, so Trustpilot, the review platform reviewing product review, and their rating here of an abysmal 83% bad. So not average or poor, just bad. And the common trend, if we scroll through and read what is occurring, inaccurate reviews or censored reviews. So people are finding that it's excessively hard to rate one-star product review paying customers. So in this particular story here by Marco G, they rated this company, this doctor whoever, on Google and on Trustpilot, and it was accepted. But because they were a paying customer on product review, this doctor, the review just didn't go through. This customer was unable to express their concerns with the company, trying to warn people, and they were just unable to do so. And we're seeing story after story of this happening. Genuine reviews, I don't think so. It's kind of made us run away. Now, this is a news article saying that this is product review under the microscope here, extorting companies or customers in Australia. Now, this particular article is working on the opposite end, not the customer complaint one-star end, but on the company complaint one-star end. So in this particular case, a customer named Sam, who runs a small business, had pretty much really sound evidence that he was getting one-star reviews on his platform, on product review. Now, he's not a paid, he doesn't pay for product review, so product review didn't want to know him. They were just willing to let those cases exist and pile up, regardless of the evidence against him. And a lot of people are finding the same thing as this news article says. So that's another thing to go in line with trust review, is that this is a widely known unfortunate situation, that they chase the money and they will allow both fake and incorrect reviews on their site.
And we've got a fake review on our product review site too, and that I tried to take down years ago, because I was pretty sure, who is Jolly Roger? I don't think that's his real name. It wasn't this one, it was another one. And I wanted to find out, is this a legit review? And I couldn't. You tried again recently to see, MC for misconception. I'm pretty sure that is a competitor that may or may not be mentioned in that review. So...
You've got to pay up, Mark, to get it off.
Sorry?
You got to pay up to get it off, pretty much.
I got to pay up, to get it off. But I'm not that upset about that one.
No, we just will
get over it. Yeah. So.
Yes. It is unfortunate because it is a widely known platform, but it's very clear that they have a vested interest in protecting companies who are paying them money. So of course they're going to, well, they shouldn't, but they're going to make it hard to get customers complaining against those companies. And I think it really is reflected by, if we compare really similar companies in the market, both on Google, Facebook, SolarQuotes, and Product Review, their product review presence is incredibly overflated in comparison to the others. So we're looking at one that looks really amazing and it doesn't line up with what we're seeing on every other platform. So,
and in fact, I can say that, and people in the industry will know who I'm talking about, but the most notorious company or maybe even group of companies in the industry rate ridiculously highly on product review, but they don't on, they get trashed on other sites. So,
yeah. So they know when it's time to send a review, send in a product review, because they'll look after them. So big thumbs down for product review. So we're not being a part of that. Now, moving on to what I feel is the best. We need a happy story, I guess, and that is SolarQuotes. Now, they are a lead gen company, but they do have a review platform integration with it. And this is our platform here, or this is our page. A lot of reviews, a lot of ratings, really in-depth reviews as well. You don't just give it a flat 5-star rating. You break it down to value, quality, service, installation, what you bought, prices, everything. So it's a really in-depth review, as well as incredibly verified, which we'll go into in a second as well.
Now, I think we need to talk about the elephant in the room, the conflict of interest here. We're a paying customer of Solar Quotes, and we're just bagging out on product review for accepting payment. But we pay for leads, and I think the customer needs to do their own research by themselves. But Finn Peacock, I can tell you, hands down, if I got on there and asked them to take down a 1-star review of mine, which I may or may not have, then so you're not going to go there, are you? So yeah, there's no chance at all that he would do that. So
it's just not in him or his process. But regardless, let's still apply the same thing we did to Google. Let's just not take this 5-star or most recent review section for face value. We are going to go look at low rated. So Mark,
do we have to?
We do. Now again, this one's not right. This is it. So this is our lowest review. Everything else from here is 3 stars, but what do you have to say for yourself again?
And by the way, that Scott one, that 0 stars, that's a positive review. He just didn't click the stars. So Adam, that customer, again, that was my fault. So I can't even blame my staff for that one. But I drove out to his place, and it was just a very difficult situation that we obviously couldn't make the customer happy at the end of the day. And sometimes this happens. The next one, a problem between sales and planners, and I remember that happening and getting to the bottom of what happened there, and it was a communication issue in our office. So we copped that. We deserved it, I think. Sometimes we don't deserve it, sometimes we do. But things happen in business, and what we really need to do is pick up and pull up our socks and make sure we're looking after our customers and meeting their expectations. So.
Yeah, and again, same like Google, we're looking at really old reviews here, so it seems like we've acted on that, and they're not as recent. But nonetheless, they're there, and you'll notice that what goes along with this is a verified tab too. So let's say you disagreed with Adam, Mark, that you say this didn't exist or this didn't occur. Solar Quotes give you the opportunity to contest this. They will let you defend themselves, and it goes through an extensive process for you to try and make that call. There is potential to exploit this system. They will give benefit of the doubt to installers. So if they would call up Adam and they couldn't get a hold of him, and you said this was a fake review, this would be taken down. So you would be able to do that.
Well, let's try. Let's give it a crack.
So I'll tell you that the repercussions for doing it and being wrong are pretty bad. So if you try and take this review down and Solar Quote say, no, that wasn't,
get in contact with Adam. Adam shows them
he
the
shows
receipt.
Up, he says, no, this was real, here's my receipt, and here's it happening. You get a big red flag. So I'm going to pull off our page now and show you this actually happening. This is a case of the company tried to contact this particular customer. Solar Quotes did their due diligence. They went through, asked for invoice, asked for everything, and it was proved that this occurred, and they purchased a system through it. So as a punishment, which I feel is excessively bad, this solar company attempted to get this review removed and essentially failed.
Which is a massive red flag. It'd be good to see that red flag right up at the top of the page, I think, in case they just kind of get, because that's really buried unless you do what you did and click on the low-rated reviews.
And what I can't help but feel sometimes as well is that, how many have others tried before just to get them to stick, because the advantage is with the installer. So I think that Solar Quotes have a nice punishment for doing so, just to show you that no, you can't get away with this sort of stuff. So that's
really dissuades people from trying to pull the wool over customers' eyes, I guess. And in a lot of ways, I guess it's a little bit like so this is a red flag just as much as the Facebook pages. If you hide your reviews on Facebook, you won't see the reviews there at all. In this case here, it's you can see that the customer's been actively trying to hide negative reviews.
Yeah, it's like Facebook, but Solar Quotes comes with a punishment. That's what I really like about the platform and what they do there too. They also, for their 5 stars as well, so we've looked at the 1 star, for their 5 star, for this review to exist in the first place, undergoes an excessive amount of double checking. They've actually got a person whose job it is to physically do this, check every single review, and then go through another verification step. So I can pretty much guarantee that every review here is real.
Yeah, and we had a chat with them the other day. It was pretty interesting, their processes that we're not going to share for verification, but their processes are really quite ingenious, and it's better than Google, because Google can use just computer algorithms. They're not going to have a person like he gets 50 reviews a day. That's his job, is to make sure these reviews look visually proper, but there's also some other verification methods that they use that make it, at the moment, they've upped their game as the years go on, but from this year, I would say almost impossible to get too many fake reviews through anyway.
Especially, like you said, after their latest additions to their platform, really good. And it's because, you mentioned Google there, and exactly right, it's because they're able to do so. They fit that niche. It's solar only. It's not trying to review all these platforms. It's particular and it's a niche, so they're able to do that, and they've done it, and that's why I really like this. If you're looking to rate solar, Solar Quotes has the ability to do that really well. So we like this platform.
While we're on this page too, I think we should give Finn a bit of a plug for and Ronald and all the guys that blog there. This is not just a review platform. It's a really good information platform. I've done a blog for them on their site too. They really dig down and are a really good resource for the solar industry. And so if you're looking into purchasing solar, a great place to go for information. And you can also go on there and click and try to get 3 quotes. If you're in Brisbane, you may end up with us as one of those people, and we pay for their leads. That we pay, I think it's under $40 or something like that to get your details so that we can give you a quote. So that's basically how the platform works. Finn doesn't hide anything about the fact that he has paying customers like us, but I think it's a really, honest and ethical way of, promoting the solar industry.
Yeah, exactly right. So that's our 4 platforms. We looked at Facebook, Google, product review, and Solar Quotes to finish it all off. We looked at, just being careful, digesting the information at a glance. You really got to delve into it and see what's happening.
Yeah, sure. Okay, and so in order, we promised in order. The first one we're going to say is Solar Quotes, easy.
Yeah, you've got
fair
that
enough.
One. Yep, that's given. Second place is Google. Google's really good.
Google. Look at the low reviews, right? So yeah.
Also with Google and with Solar Quotes, exactly. Don't just look at their platform they give you. Look at the low reviews. Look at the ratio. See what's occurring out there. Yeah. Yep. Third place, which has fluctuated as of recently, actually goes to Facebook. Use Facebook to get an understanding of the company, but check for those signs of them hiding their information. See if they have reviews available. See if they're deleting comments. Go a bit deeper than Facebook, but it's still reasonable. But check for those signs. And last place is just a write-off for me is product review. Just they really favour to people that pay them money, and that's the only way you can really get reviews through them or accurate reviews through them. So that's my
and that was really interesting. And I'd be interested to know if anyone else has got any other experiences with these review platforms or other review platforms. There's comments down below, so leave us a comment. While we're at it too, if you've found value out of this video, Ben and I are working a lot harder on. I do a lot of blogging, but we're working a lot harder on YouTube content at the moment. So give us a thumbs up if you can, and subscribe and turn on that notification message. So if you're looking for solar or you're interested in solar, we're going to put a lot more content like this out there. So anyway, Ben, I think that's a wrap. Thanks for giving us a hand through that. And
thanks for having me.
See you in the next video.
See you soon, Mike. Thanks.
Okay.
Bye.
Rightio.